What would you do if you were going to interview him currently?
Well, do you know what? I'd love the opportunity because whatever else you say about Mourinho, he is good copy. You know, from purely from a media point of view, there's never a dull moment, and it might irritate the hell out of people, or it might excite them, or they might find it humor. But he's not dull. So just that's a pure media response. What I would do is I was thinking about this just as an icebreaker. Right, and this has nothing to do with Man United, nothing to do with what he's done in the past as a manager or what's happening to him now, but just to break the ice. It's always good to break the ice with an interviewee. I would mention to him an interesting story that relates to his family background in football that has an unusual Irish connection. And if you'll indulge me, I'll tell it, because I'm not sure how many people know about it. When I was a kid growing up, and I'm a very old man now, one of my boyhood hero, I was a Shamrock Rovers supporter, my boyhood hero was Mick Leach, who's famous Irish striker of the 60s and into the 70s. And subsequent, I went to Milltown and worshipped him as a kid, and then because of the nature of the job I've been in, got to know him later on and occasionally meet up with him, and he's a tremendous fella, Mick, you know. And he told me a story some months back about a tournament, and by the way, there is a Mourinho point at the end of this, in case you think my age is getting to me and I've forgotten what I'm beginning with. He told me a story. Yeah. He did remind me. He told me a story about a tournament Ireland played in Brazil in 1972. It was a kind of a mini World Cup invitational tournament. And other countries included Portugal and I think Chile, Iran, okay? And it was that era when League of Ireland players were in Irish squads, as well as some of the guys who were playing across the way. Anyway, Mick, top striker at the time, he got picked. And this is by the way, but I do remember my excitement as a kid when, after the tournament ended, I discovered that the two strikers who were picked in the team of the tournament, which presumably was a 4-4-2, were Eusebio of Portugal and Mick Leach of Shamrock Rovers. So I was going around to all my mates who supported English clubs going, have you seen what it says in the Irish Independent or whatever? Anyway, so that I'd been long aware of that tournament and Mick's role. And as I said, some months ago, he told me this story. He'd been in Portugal, I guess, on holidays, and Portuguese friends produced a yellowing newspaper from 1972 and said, have you ever seen this? And showed it to him and translated it. And it was reports from that tournament. And Ireland played Portugal. And they said, here, look at the substitution. And so anyway, the explanation of what happened was, at half-time in this Ireland versus Portugal game, which Mick Leach played in and whoever else was picked for that particular team that day, Portugal made a substitution at half-time of their goalkeeper. And they brought on a goalie who played the second half, and that was his only ever appearance for Portugal. He played 45 minutes, it was only ever his cap. And his name was Mourinho, and he was Jose Mourinho's father.
Go away.
Right? And Mick had only discovered this in the last year or something. Yeah. So, to get back to, because I haven't forgotten, the first thing I would do with Jose Mourinho, if I could get him on my own, to break the ice, because I pretty much imagine whatever else Mourinho is, he's a football man. You can kind of lose sight of where he's come from Porto and all the success he's had. So I'd do that to break the ice, and then I'd get into the more difficult. then the interview would end,